Is everyone here? Yep. Just quickly, obviously we picked Dementia as the organisation that we're going to donate half our money to. So yeah, firstly, thanks for that. Just wanted to give a bit of a background. Obviously, a lot of you know, but a lot of you probably don't know that my dad is 58 this year, and when he was 53, he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, so early onset. So from that, I was in year 12 when that happened, so I could notice a few changes. He was obviously starting to do a few weird things. So fast forward that to now, he needs 24/7 care. So my mum is his carer along with one of his other carers. So he needs help going to the toilet, showering, eating. And yeah, pretty much he can't do anything by himself anymore. So I was thinking on the 22nd of April, there's a walk for dementia. And I was hoping, obviously it's not compulsory if people have stuff on, but maybe if a few of us could get down on the 22nd and walk for it. So far my family's doing it with a fair few of my other family friends. But yeah, I just thought it'd be a good idea if we could get down and do the walk, because it obviously raised a lot of awareness. So yeah, that was all, just brief little.
I met Paul when I was 21, and he just got back from a cricket season in Bristol. He was very charming, he was handsome, he was a lot of fun. We just were really compatible, we got on really well. And 18 months later we got married. Paul was absolutely loved his boys. Like when Sam was born, he was just, you know, ecstatic, and he spent so much time with them.
I remember having a kick with him in the backyard, and probably, honestly, my earliest memory is my first overhead mark. Took it clean out in front, and I just remember we just stopped and we were just celebrating, and that was probably the earliest memory. Yeah.
In Paul's family, it was everything. His whole family were huge sport people, so Paul sort of passed that on to his boys. Sport was pretty bigger than academics in our family. I always used to say the brains came from me, but then I saw their VCE scores. It was probably late 2011, early 2012. I just started noticing him misplacing things, or just forgetting where he'd put them. Keys, wallet.
He'd go for a walk and he'd never come back with his phone, and we'd always get a phone call from Sushi in Glenferrie saying, "You've left your phone here." And it was, I reckon we got on name basis with him by the stage that it was happening so much.
And you know, I thought nothing of it, but it was happening quite often. So I made an appointment with the doctor, and I went in first, and that's when I said to the doctor, "Look, I think this is going on." And then Paul went in, and then I went back in later to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Yeah, I think it is Alzheimer's." At that stage he was only 53, and I was told younger onset never lived past the age of 65. So I thought, oh God, what am I going to do? But I didn't know much about it. It was never something that had happened in my life, and none of our friends have ever had it. So, you know, I couldn't believe there wasn't a cure, and I just wanted to surely help Paul in some way. I felt very unable to help him in any way, except to care for him.
Before Paul, I was pretty ignorant about the disease. I saw it as being maybe something that old people get when, later in life. You don't seem to think that it's something a young person or a younger person would come down with. So yeah, I was just ignorant, really.
I didn't know anything besides I thought it was just something where people lose their memory. I thought it was just something where people would ask you the same question once every 2 minutes. I didn't know it could get as bad as It can. I didn't even know you could die from it. So I knew very little.
Well, now he needs 24-hour care. He can't shower himself anymore. He can't dress himself. He's starting not to be able to toilet himself. The challenges are just the 24-hour day care. For me, he was given what they call a level 4 package, but that challenge is that they can't find people to care for him. So as much as I've got funding, and I can access carers, I can access doctors, I can access home help, they can't find anybody. I've got a carer, Tim, who's been fabulous 2 days a week, and Paul loves him, but I've struggled to find other carers that Paul gets on with. So that's a huge issue in our life, is getting someone to help me.
I see him sort of once a week now and go out for walks with him. We'll walk along the beach. He always loves seeing the ocean, and along the beach walks, he loves that. So that's where we spend most of our time nowadays. To think that he can't remember the good times is, for me, the hardest thing, because that's what you do when you go out and you go to a party or something. It always seems that you go back to talking about, remember when we did this, or remember when this happened, or what you did there. And when I'm out in the car with him, sometimes we'll drive past. We lived in about 3 or 4 different places in Melbourne. We drive past and he goes, there it is, but that was a while. He doesn't tend to remember those places now, so those sort of things, they're the hardest things for me.
For the boys, they've lost their their guidance. They've lost their father figure, their encouragement. He would, no matter what, Paul would always be there for them, drive them everywhere, always have a kick of the footy every single day with them, every single day, whether it be morning, night, he's out there with them.
It's the only time when I really am by myself thinking about it that it kind of annoys me, and it just annoys me in the sense that, and I probably overthink it, but I could walk down the street and have a 5-second conversation with a random, and that's more than I've had with my dad in 5 years.
I find it really sad that he's gone. It can be frustrating, quite overwhelming for me at times, but the reality of it is I realise now I have to, I do get really sad, I do cry a lot, but I just have to be there for him now. And I've said that to the boys. We don't know how much longer Paul's got, and we just have to be really strong and be there for him.
The boys know how proud that he is of them, and he still shows them great love. So it's been fortunate that he's had that attitude to life. So even though this has happened now, the boys have gotten a lot of great memories of how much joy and love he brought into their life anyway. And so, I think, it's just, it is a sadness. A sadness for them that they've cut down in his absolute prime for him and Vicky. Because, they've been a phenomenal partnership, relationship. So now is sort of their time to travel and, enjoy watching the boys and hopefully, grandkids. And just feel really cheated that he's not going to be able to be part of all that.
The hardest part is it can be a bit taxing that you got to be switched on constantly. You can't let him go for 20 seconds. Some of the positive you take out of it, I am probably the most patient person in the world now because of just the patience that you got to sort of muster up to handle it. So there's some positives out of it, I guess.
He's eyes absolutely light up when Ben walks through the door, because Ben sings with him, dances with him, plays music, and it's hilarious. We have tears in our eyes, we laugh, and sometimes, you know, even sometimes you'll turn around and look at him and he's crying, which means I think there's been a memory triggered in there, and he'll just start crying. He'll just sit there and cry. And then Ben will turn on some music and off he goes again. He's happy again.
It's just fun. Dad, he can still bowl a cricket ball. Yeah, just think we've got a perfect backyard for little sporting events sort of, so it's good fun.
Still the same person, he still brings us great joy, he still makes us laugh like no one makes us laugh. And yeah, he's still got that beautiful nature. So you're not connecting having the, oh yeah, what happened at work today? You're not having your general conversation. But in some ways it's even deeper because you've got to be so present. You're not sort of on your phone or looking around, or you really got to give your full attention and really be there for them. And so in a way it's almost a deeper connection in a way.
I think this whole process over the past 4 or 5 years has sort of made us accustomed to whatever's going to happen, and it really has toughened us up mentally. Like it's not sit around and sort of worry about what's going to happen. It's just like being thrown into the deep end where you got to attack it once it's there. There's nothing you can do but just go with it.
I think it's really united the family a lot. They've really just come to a great place of acceptance and making the most of their time with Paul and extended family. And so incredibly proud of them. Just, it's so challenging and so sad, but they are doing it with so much love and grace that I'm just, blown away and just so grateful that they're managing the way that they are.